Got a video for you. Let me know what you think of this.
On camera. Michelle Nix talked with him one-on-one. We want to warn you that some of the video you're about to see may be unsettling.
A homeowner is shot as he opens his front door trying to scare away two young people attempting to steal this Kia in his driveway. He's definitely injured, but thankful he lived to talk about it. An old Brooklyn man is shot as two young suspects opened fire just seconds after he opened his front door.
I got shot! I got shot!
One suspect runs down the street, the other jumps in the driver's seat of a nearby car and speeds off. It happened just after 1 o'clock Friday morning on Schiller Avenue when the homeowner heard noises in his driveway.
I was still in my underwears, like I literally flew out of bed, like just trying to hopefully scare them away and, they don't steal my sister's stuff, and soon as I opened the door, popped my head out, boom, 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 boom.
Chris, the victim, asked that I not use his last name, but he tells me one of the 9 bullets fired by the suspects entered and exited his calf, nicking an artery, spewing blood. Oof. Chris was fearful, remembering his brother was shot and killed several years ago.
That was running through my head. I'm leaking blood. I'm panicking in a sense, that I'm going to lose my life, and
that must be terrifying. Let's go back to that shooting clip again. I wanted to comment on this. I actually I recorded a video and I forgot to turn the audio on my mic. So now I'm having to do it again. I hope I have audio this time. I hope you can hear me.
About it. An old Brooklyn man is shot.
Okay. Now I want to know what you think about this. What happens here? So it's 1 a.m. His sister's over. That's her car, and he must have heard them breaking in, and so he gets his gun, goes out there. Looks like a bolt-action rifle with a scope on it. See that again. And there it is. So he figures he's got the surprise and he's going to get the drop on them, startle them. They're going to be scared and run off. And instead, they immediately start shooting at him.
An old Brooklyn man
Look at that. It was 9 shots. There were 9 bullet holes, and one of those shots hit him. Those shots could have killed him. They could have gone through the wall and hit somebody else. This is what stands out to me from this video. A few things that stand out to me that I'll comment on is that there are people in this world that don't give a crap about life, that don't give a crap about your life, that will shoot you on the spot if you get in the way of what they want to do. And that's on full display here. Now, he's probably in fight-flight mode as he's going to confront them, and I'm glad to see that boldness. He's got a firearm. He's going to go out and intervene here to stop them and confront them, get them to run off, right? And I get that, because you don't want the criminals to get away with the crimes. The police are probably going to be too slow to get here in time to stop this from happening in all likelihood. If you don't intervene, they're going to steal that car. They're going to get away with it, and they're going to feel rewarded and emboldened in their crime. And it's just, that is not good for society. So I like that he's willing to confront them here. The way that it goes down, though, is it sounds like, at least because the camera is right there, it sounds like it's very loud. He comes out loud, fast, sudden. And maybe that speed is a good thing for the confrontation, but it's not enough to really get a surprise on them. Instead, probably fight flight is activating in them. He's hoping that they just run away, but no, they go right to their guns. They got no problem unloading their guns at him, shooting at him. They're willing to murder somebody for the sake of stealing a car and getting away, which is just horrendous and disgusting. But you know what you won't see is you're not going to see any protest about this. You're not going to see any liberals going out into the street protesting about what's happened in this community. Why did these two people do this? How terrible this is. The most you would hear is gun violence, right? Because they're just guns that are floating around shooting. The guns are probably stolen. I'm gonna guess in that car that one of them flees, and it's funny that they separate. That car is probably also stolen. This is probably not their first rodeo. This was probably just the first time that somebody confronted them and what they're doing. So I like that he's willing to confront, but it's just it's very messy. And as I've thought about this, I don't think there was any good way for him to confront them without it going down like this. Because opening the door, opening a window, trying to shout at them or something, any of that is probably going to give away. There could be noises that give away, even just doing that. I don't know, maybe you could open a window quietly. But even just potentially, like maybe being armed, positioning yourself, ready to shoot back if they shoot at you, and then shouting, like, I don't know, get the hell out of here or something. Even something like that, it looks like would have just been met with gunfire. So it seems like any confrontation, they were really ready to kill on the spot. And that makes them incredibly dangerous. There's no good way of dealing, especially just as like the homeowner, as the person, you're minding your own business, hanging out in your house, and you see this. You don't want to let them get away with it and let them do what they're doing. But you're not allowed to just shoot somebody to defend your property, at least not in most places. And so you can cower in your house, and that might be the safest thing. Then they get away with it. You confront them. You don't want them to mess up or steal your car. You confront, and they're immediately shooting. In this case, he could have been killed. It's just such a nasty kind of situation. And it's terrible that he gets shot. And we can pray for him, for his healing and his healing from trauma, and pray for these criminal guys that they get caught and experience the kind of punishment they need to in the justice system, and that they experience the full measure of the law, and that they repent of their sins, and that they come to the light, and that they turn their lives to Jesus, and they could use their lives as powerful voices for the gospel. And that's what we can pray for and hope for them. But I do hope that they are stopped. I do hope that they are caught, that justice, whatever that may end up being, that justice does find them, and that there aren't other victims of them. It's just truly disgusting and horrifying that this darkness, you don't know when the darkness will darken your doorstep, when evil in the world will suddenly pop up in your life. You go from, you're just living your life, and then evil just pops in, and it's very startling. So I noticed that he goes out there with a bolt-action rifle. He doesn't have the rifle at the ready. He's not positioning himself to use the doorway as cover. I think really having a semi-auto pistol, maybe with a red dot at the least, or really something like a long gun, something like an AR-15. And there's so many different kinds of semi-auto rifles, but something like a rifle with a red dot, of course, magazine fed, positioning yourself. Maybe opening the door, maybe slowly, or opening a window slowly, to where you can position yourself, hopefully without giving yourself away, and then shouting at them. Get something, right? You're armed, get the hell out of here. Something to that effect. But that would take a lot of thought to actually do that. Like, this guy's in fight-flight mode. I know. I've had my own experience where I had to draw a gun on somebody who attacked me one time many years ago. Very scary situation, and your heart rate is just beating so fast. Maybe I'll do a video on that, because it was a wild situation, and made a police report, dealt with that. But this kind of thing, all of a sudden, just this evil touches your life, and all of a sudden you're a regular person, law-abiding person, you're just doing life. And then all of a sudden evil drops in. Life or death sort of evil, to where you need a gun to defend yourself. And that happened here. And so this is the kind of thing where it's like very much outside of how you're going day-to-day life. You don't want to have to go through life. Like, this is why we need strong laws, strong justice systems, strong Second Amendment, so that people can defend themselves. Criminals need to be locked up. They need to be afraid of the law. They should be terrified of law enforcement. They should be terrified of ICE, of any sort of law enforcement that if you're breaking the law, you're going to get caught. They're going to drag you away. The punishment's going to be severe, and you're going to not want to commit crime anymore. Criminals should be afraid of justice. They should be afraid of the law. They should be afraid that they are going to get caught, that the law is going to beat them, that if they fight the law, they're going to get killed doing it. That is what it should be, so that we can live in a safe society, so that this doesn't happen very much, so you don't have to deal with this. Because it's scary to get pulled out of your regular life, to get reminded that we live in a world of wolves. We live in a world of monsters. We live in a world where 999 times out of 1,000, life might be peacefully going and fine, and then all of a sudden you're walking through the woods and an angry grizzly bear shows up and is charging at you. Okay, metaphorically or literally. In this case, in a neighborhood or in a street and living in your house, that danger that shows up comes in the form of criminals who will take your stuff and take your life in a moment's notice. And you don't know when that's going to be. And so all the more reason to go, if you need a carry permit, get a carry permit. Go get a gun. Face your fears of it. Okay? You can learn to use it. You can face your fears of using it. If not that, get something else to defend yourself. Practice with it. Get comfortable with it. You don't want to be going through life thinking that there's danger all the time, but you do need to have in mind that this isn't an innocent utopian world we're living in. Not like the leftists want to somehow imagine it to be. They want to disarm us all and let the criminals off easy and decriminalize things. And somehow that's their vision of utopia. I don't get it at all. They want to make it more dangerous for everybody and make it so only the bad guys have the guns and attack and crap on law enforcement when they try to stop the bad guys. It's totally flipped on its head. But get training and think about there are random situations that can come up. It might be helpful to think about, like, what would you do? What do you think you would do in this kind of situation? What do you do when something goes bump in the night? What do you do when the oddball starts walking up to you in the parking lot and your hairs stand on the back of your neck about the situation? What do you do when the creepy car is driving towards you, drives up next to you? The window comes down. What do you do when you hear the noise going on outside? Right? Situations to think about. And like, you, as a human being, you have a right to protect yourself. We don't have claws, and so the claws that we have, we use technology, guns, knives, pepper sprays, taser devices. So I'm a big proponent of self-defense and the Second Amendment, all sorts of arms, because that is how we're soft, squishy, vulnerable creatures. We don't have big teeth and claws like other animals do, but we have other means to defend ourselves. And there are dangerous, bad actors, evil people who would justify for any old reason to harm you, rob from you, take your life. And they're out there. And this is a reminder of that, right? This is an opportunity to go, you know what, I may never, and hopefully, Lord willing, never have to deal with a situation like that. But it is an opportunity to think, but what would I do in a situation like that? And it could be you call the police and you hunker down with your weapon and you go, I'm not even going to risk messing with this. If they come to the door or they come to a window to try to break in, you deal with it then. You might just go, it's not even worth it, because in this case, boom, then they went right to shooting. That's a terrible situation. I mean, you need some bulletproof cover of some kind and a good weapon ready to fire back in a moment's notice for that, even to potentially go the other way where you come out on top. It's just that this just seems like a particularly crappy situation to be in, right? Where you're dealing with people who are on such a hair trigger ready to murder for the sake of their crime and to get away with it. So hopefully they don't. What do you think about this video? What are your thoughts? How would you handle this situation? Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Please do so respectfully. And I like to hear from people. I'll respond to some comments down there. Please like and subscribe if you like this kind of thing. And I really hope that the audio recorded this time. Send out a prayer to this guy who got shot, because that's probably, certainly potentially traumatic. And hopefully he makes a full recovery, and hopefully the thieves repent and turn from their crimes. So, all right. That's all I've got here. And I'll see you next time.